Run.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello, hello, Principal. How are you, Adi? Pooja.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You lots of students
Good
already
afternoon,
signed
sir.
in.
Sir,
Good afternoon, sir.
we have given you
Can
two
you hear
link
me, Pooja?
also.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, you can start whenever you want.
Yes, sir. Sai, good afternoon.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Good afternoon, sir.
afternoon, teacher. Shall we start?
Teacher, one second, sir. Our sir will be
Okay.
joining right now. Secretary sir
Okay,
will be
okay,
joining.
teacher. Okay.
നേരത്തെ ഉണ്ടാവും നേരത്തെ ക്ലാസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
sir.
അത് എന്നെ മാത്രം കാണില്ല. ഇത് എന്റെ മാത്രം കാണില്ല. ഇത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് കാണുന്നത്?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Namaskaram, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaskaram, Dr. Sukumaran. Namaskaram. How are you? Dr. Sukumaran, are you well? സുഖം തന്നെയോ?
സുഖം തന്നെ, sir.
പൂജ മാസ്ക് വെച്ചിട്ടില്ലേ?
സാറ് വെച്ചിട്ടില്ല.
മാസ്ക് കൂടി
ഇല്ലല്ല, ഞാൻ വീട്ടിലല്ലേ. നോ പ്രോബ്ലം.
സാർ ഞാൻ വീട്ടിലാണ് സർ, സാറിന്റെ വീട്ടിലാണ്.
ഓ, വീട്ടിലാണ്. ശരി. ഓക്കെ.
സിന്ധു ടീച്ചർ
എങ്ങനെയുണ്ട്? സ്കൂളൊക്കെ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലേ?
Teacher.
സർ 10ന്റെയും 12ന്റെയും എക്സാംസ് നടക്കുന്നു. അതിനോടൊപ്പം കുട്ടികൾ
ഇപ്പൊ
വരുന്നു.
സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എല്ലാം അവരവരുടെ വീടുകളിലാണോ?
ഇപ്പം വീട്ടുകളിലാണ് സർ.
ഓക്കെ.
ഹരിദേവ് സർ ഉണ്ട്.
Haridev sir join ചെയ്തു teacher.
There are 92 people who have signed in.
സിന്ധു ടീച്ചർ shall we start?
Yes. Anuvinda?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll
Ma'am, can I
start.
start? Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. A special kind of beauty exists which is born in language, of language, and for the language. Yes, language is a beautiful invention of humanity. Every language has its unique perks, but don't you know which is the most famous language across the globe? I'm sure you do. It is the English language. One language sets you in a corridor for life. Two languages open every door along the way. Knowledge of languages is the doorway to wisdom. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Anuvinda. I feel extremely privileged and honored to get an opportunity to be a part of this auspicious occasion. I heartily welcome you all to this program. As you all know, today we are gathered here for the inauguration of a new session for spoken English, the Speaking Tree. It is a course for students for improving their communicative skills in English language. The classes are handled by well-trained faculties from Hyderabad. Now, let's start the program. It is our culture to remember the God Almighty before everything we do or start. So, let us begin this function seeking the blessing and presence of the God Almighty. I would like to invite Krishnendu to lead us with the prayer.
भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Next, I would like to invite Nakshatra Art to officially welcome all the dignitaries and everyone gathered here for this session.
Guest of honor, Dr. T.P. Srinivasan sir, Sri Sai Krishna sir, faculty member of Speaking Tree, Honorable Trust Secretary, Dr. P.K. Sukumaran sir, beloved Principal, Dr. Pooja S. ma'am, PTA President, Haridev sir, SMC Delegate, Sajid Vijayaraghavan sir, Vice Principals, Coordinators, HODs, teachers, parents, and my dear friends. A very good afternoon to one and all. To have another language is to possess a second soul. I strongly believe the limits of my language means the limits of my world. Hope you do agree with me, right? Yes. Mastery of another language would boost our confidence and provide multiple career prospects if it is a global language. English language plays a vital role in today's fast-evolving world. We are aware that English has emerged as language of commerce, business, internet, technology, science, better to say lingua franca of the century. We are fortunate to say that our school management opens a new platform, Speaking Tree, to enhance students' English communication skills. We are much privileged to have Dr. T.P. Srinivasan sir as the chief guest of the official launching of CE Orientation Program Speaking Tree. T.P. Srinivasan sir has served in the Indian Foreign Service. He was the former ambassador and permanent representative of India to the United Nations, Vienna, and governor for India of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Vienna, and ambassador to Austria and Slovenia. Besides being a proactive diplomat, he has represented at a number of international conferences organized by the United Nations, the Commonwealth, and the Non-Aligned Movement. We are blessed to have Dr. T.P. Srinivasan sir as our SNP chairman. With much gratitude, I welcome T.P. Srinivasan sir to this session. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
On
very much.
behalf of MCM family, I would like to welcome Sai Krishna sir, faculty member of Speaking Tree, to today's session. I welcome you, sir. With much respect, I welcome our Honorable Trust Secretary, Dr. P.K. Sukumaran sir, a man with great visions about NGO Model School and working hard for making his mission true. I welcome you, sir. With much love and warmth, I welcome the pillar strength of NGO Model School, Dr. Pooja S. ma'am, to this session. I welcome you, ma'am. We are indeed pleased with the presence of our PTA President, Haridev sir, SMC Delegate, Sajid Vijayaraghavan sir, to this session. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Vice Principal.
continue with the next program. We have some next issue. Navinda,
Yes, ma'am.
we'll continue.
A great principle builds character, inspires dreams, encourages creativity, builds confidence, instills a lot of learning, touches our hearts, and changes our lives forever. I would like to invite our dearest principal Pooja ma'am to deliver the presidential address. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Srinivasan, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected our chairman of School Management Committee, TP Srinivasan, sir. Faculty member of Speaking Tree, not faculty member, he's executive director of Speaking Tree Sai. Our Honorable Trustee Secretary Dr. P.K. Sukumaran, sir. Our PTA President Mr. Haridev, sir. My dear teachers and my dear children. This is a very auspicious moment for our school. Why? Because we are starting a new platform to improve the communicative English of our children. You know, while this welcome speech was going on, I was remembering when I studied in MGM Model School. In the beginning, we used to have a speaker in all the classrooms, and during the interval time, our trustee secretary, he has brought CDs, not CDs, I should say, പഴയ പണ്ടത്തെ വലിയ cassette എന്ന് പറയും. So that was played during the interval time. So we used to hear the pronunciation of each words from the beginning onwards. And due to course of time, we started ILM, and Sai Krishna was a member of ILM. And this ILM, it created a lot of change in our children. And right now, they have come forward. Sai has come forward with another venture, Speaking Tree. And when we thought that this communicative English in the PTA executive meeting and also from the feedback of the parents, all were requesting about the communicative English of children. So what we thought that we have to do something for that. So when we contacted Sai, he told that they are ready to give communicative English class for 3 months as a new initiative, 3 months. So for this, we should have a formal inauguration. And when I contacted our chairman of School Management Committee, sir also agreed. And today we are going to begin this new venture. I hope my children and my parents and teachers will cooperate, and we will bring this to the full excellence. So thank you, and thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. T.P. Srinivasan, sir, a unique person to make today more memorable and special. He was the former ambassador and permanent representative of India to the United Nations. He has served in the Indian Foreign Service for 37 years. We are very fortunate to have such a great personality with us. Undoubtedly, he is a role model for the society. So, with much pleasure, I invite Dr. T.P. Srinivasan, sir, for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Smita. Dr.
Now, my
Sukumaran, Principal Dr. Pooja, the Speaking Tree Managing Director, and all my dear students. I think this is a very splendid opportunity for me to speak to you, because you are starting a new course in communicative English. All of us know how important it is for us to be able to communicate clearly and correctly in the English language. In fact, in India, ability to speak, write, and read English is still synonymous with education. In many countries, English is not even spoken. They use their language because that country has only one language. And they need to use foreign languages only when you communicate with the rest of the world. But in our system, English is hardly a foreign language because it has been with us, and that's a linked language even among us. Even if you go to the next state in India, you will not be able to communicate unless you know English. Well, Hindi is our national language, but still it is not so much in use. So it's extremely essential for our children to be fluent in English. And one of the greatest difficulties I experienced in trying to educate our young people in Kerala is the fact they are very deficient in their ability to speak the language. There are various reasons for it, obviously, because even English medium schools, the children are unable to practice English very much because they don't speak English at home, they don't speak English to each other, and there is a certain amount of hesitation to use English language. And the teachers make it easy for them by speaking in Malayalam to them. And as a result, I find they neither speak good English nor good Malayalam. So this is a big issue in our schools. The old days, it was slightly different. In my case, I did everything in Malayalam in school. English was only a side language. But when we came to the college from the university, we completely transformed ourselves. And it was a very difficult process because in the class, the teachers did not speak any language other than English. So I remember the first 3-4 months, I did not know what was going on. Every language teacher, every science teacher, everybody would come to the class and speak in English, which we did not understand. And it was a very hard job for us to get over the inability or the inadequacy of the English language. And this pursues you all the way, wherever you are. Because most of you are not going to live and work in Kerala. At least you will go outside Kerala, and many of you may even go abroad. And there is a huge difficulty for people to speak English, particularly since English is spoken in different ways in different parts of the world. Not only the accent, but even words. Some words which are used in United States are not used by us. So when you go to the US, for example, or even UK, most expressions you will find strange because those words are not used in our textbooks or in our daily conversation. So mastering the English language is a big challenge for us throughout your life. Because I used to move from country to country every 3 years. All these countries did not have English, but the only language that we could communicate with them was English. And therefore, the various kinds of English spoken in different parts of the world was a big challenge, even for adults. So it is very important that communicative English should be a part of our curriculum right from the beginning. I did masters in English, but nobody ever taught me how to speak English. Because even in class, we did not speak much of English to each other. The only time we heard English was when the teacher was speaking. So in our daily lives, it was not part of it. At home, it was not part of it. And therefore, there is no opportunity for our children to have experience in using the language. And no language can be perfected without using it. In our BA class or MA class, nothing was taught about spoken English. That was not part of the curriculum at all. Nobody thought about it. And the other thing we did not was we had no training in creative English, for example. These two were absent. We were learning English BA and English MA, English literature, without communicative English and without creative English teaching. Instead, we were being taught Old English, Middle English. Old English is a different language altogether. doesn't exist on the face of the earth. But still, we had a paper on Old English, basically translating Old English to New English. Now I think it has disappeared. People have removed it from the syllabus. And so we wasted a lot of time in the name of English graduation and English post-graduation. But what we learned was the literature, basically, not the language. There was not much focus on that. But now I am glad to see, after I come back after 40 years, I'm glad to see that spoken English is part of the curriculum at every level. And this is something very, very necessary. Because in the process of both English and Malayalam being used as media of instruction in schools and colleges, the important thing about the ability to speak, which becomes very necessary when you look for opportunities to work, it becomes a great handicap. I give training for civil service, and I find the children who have come there from Kerala are totally inadequate, while those who are outside Kerala are better because they have experience of using the language. So many people ask me, should we go to Delhi to prepare for the civil service? I said, there is no need. You can get as good training in civil service examination in Kerala. But if you can go, I'll suggest you go, because a year of exposure to language, this kind of total immersion, is required for you to feel comfortable with the language. And that works, because people go to Delhi and prepare for civil service examination, not because of the material that they learn, that they can learn here also, but being thrown into an environment where you have to speak English becomes compulsive, and as a result, your ability to speak English improves. But we can certainly create the same atmosphere here. People in certain convents, etc., if a child did not speak English, there used to be a fine. If you speak in Malayalam, you have to pay a fine to the college. But those things are considered absolutely unacceptable today, because we are very patriotic and we believe in our own language, etc. But that should not be mixed up with the need of the hour. For example, civil service examination can be written in Malayalam. But how many of us will be able to get enough material for civil service in Malayalam? So if you study everything in English and then you can translate it all into Malayalam, then you can do that. And some people have done that. But it is not practical, because we do not have textbooks, we do not have the teaching material, etc., to cope with the civil service syllabus if you want to do everything in Malayalam. So our young people are very confused. And this initiative that the school has taken is very important in that respect, because they may know some English, but the idea should be to immerse them in English. And I hope the speaking tree people, teachers, don't speak any other language. If they do, they should not use it. The only way is to totally immerse in the language. I remember going to Japan in the old days, 1969. My first posting was in Tokyo. I did not know a word of Japanese, but the teachers did not speak to us in any other language. They spoke to us from the first day in Japanese. They never translated any word to us. So that there are very many teaching tools which enables you to completely immerse yourself in the language. And that is easier when, of course, you are in a hostel or when you are in a class, we are always interacting together. But here, of course, you are there only during the day and evening, you are engaged in other things. But I hope this course will be a kind of total immersion course, and the teacher should not speak any language other than English. And also, children should not be allowed to communicate in any other language. Of course, patriotism and love for Malayalam and all this we should set aside. Because our objective in this particular course is to get as much immersion in the language as possible. And human mind, particularly for young people, it is very easy to adjust to a new language. You will be surprised. We started speaking Japanese in 3 months in Tokyo. Because there was no way. You go to the street, you go to the market, you go anywhere, nobody knows any English. And even when they, in the stores, when you go, you find young boys and girls with a little note, I speak English, to help the tourists. So you hopefully very happily go to them and say, how can I get a needle or something, you say. And they don't understand that their English, or they don't understand our accent. And it is total alien kind of an atmosphere. And so you survive. To survive, to get a glass of water, you need to know Japanese. So that is how language is taught. And in a way that, suppose you land up on an island with nobody else except a Japanese speaking friend. How are you going to survive? You are going to communicate. You're not going to sit idle. So that kind of an atmosphere has to be created, by which in this particular course, your total attention should be to this language and nothing else should be done. And that we don't do in our English medium classes, because the teachers find it easier to explain something in Malayalam to make them understand. I remember the first lesson that I had in English when I came to the intermediate college in Trivandrum was a poem, To the Cuckoo, by William Wordsworth. And for first 2 or 3 days, I did not know what this cuckoo was, because the teacher would never tell us, this is Namada Kuilana. He didn't say that to us at any time. So all the time we are wondering, what are we talking about? Because we are talking about the cuckoo singing and the cuckoo doing this and the morning, beauty of the morning. As you know, Wordsworth is a great nature lover. But he just did not tell us what it was till we ourselves understood from the circumstances what this bird is all about. So it was a painful process, I must say, because you have that inability to grasp things which are being said. But you will find it very easy to do once you have no choice. And this is a new level of learning. But of course, now there are so many other possibilities. You don't really have to be in a class to learn English. You can listen to various English language programs, videos, all that are available. But better than that will be a course like this, where you have trained instructors who know how to get the language into your system. Because maybe another 10 years, you may not need to learn any other language because everything will be available. Already, interpretation and translation have become natural and normal. But it will be even more later. There may be a system by which you attach it to your brain and you start speaking a new language. It could be possible with artificial intelligence and various other things. Such things will come. It has not come yet. But we are on the way to that. But meanwhile, present generation of children have no option to work very hard in this process. And therefore, I'm very glad that the school has chosen to organize a course like this. It will be very beneficial. I hope it will be like you're living outside Kerala for a few hours, so that speaking English becomes a second habit for us, or even the first language for you. And that is the way to go. So I'm sure this will be very helpful. And in the future, when you go to college or you go for interviews, etc., this particular training that you have got in the school will be very useful. So I'm very happy that we have this. My regular complaint against all education system in Kerala is that we are not giving enough emphasis to language learning. And I'm glad the school is taking this interest, and I'm sure it will add new feathers to the cap of the NPM. So thank you very much for asking me to be with you. I hope to speak to you in English after the course is over to find out how much you have learned. Thank you very much. I'm happy to inaugurate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your loving words. Mother tongue, or first language, is the language a person has been exposed to from the birth. It is usually the language one first learns. It is also the language a person is most fluent in. As we all know that English is a language spoken worldwide. Here, I mean to say that people do understand or do speak English as their second language in many countries. So, when it comes to traveling or visiting different countries, if the people do not speak your language, the English comes to the rescue. English will open a world of new opportunities for you. So now let's invite the Senior Manager of Speaking Tree, Mr. Sai Krishnan, for knowing more about this project. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Srinivasan sir, Trust Secretary Sukumaran sir, Principal Pooja ma'am, all the teachers, dignitaries over there, and my dear students. Being with MGM is always like I'm home. I am always home because it's my mother's school. I was with MGM 8 years ago. I remember the first day when I stepped into the school, and I had good coordination, communication with all of you, and I had such good time with all the students over there. I think that is because of what I've been called after 8 years to the school once again, and I've been asked to take the class. First thing is, I take this as a challenge for me because this is no such different program for me because I'm doing it for my school. Though I'm not a Malayali, till date, ma'am, I'm telling you, I have not learned a single word of Malayalam because I am strictly to the language. I'm doing it for all the students. Students and everybody, I just want to tell you that so far you have been learning English as a subject. And most of my words, whatever I wanted to say, it was all said by Srinivasan sir, and I was just nodding my head to all the words of Srinivasan sir. I was just listening to it because those were the words I wanted to say. All about the language sir said, all about like Old English and New English, Middle English, and later on sir also said about ESL and EFL countries. You know, countries in the world have been divided on this basis, like ESL and EFL stands for English as a second language and English as a foreign language. But so far what we have been doing is we have been learning English as a subject that's been taught by the teachers of the school. Well, there is no obstacle. If you have to communicate with people, you need to know how to communicate. But it doesn't mean that you have to go with the grammar, rules, and all that stuff. I'll just tell a small little story. You have to compare yourself learning this language as a Malayalam. Well, I would ask you all, those who are there in the class, do you learn the grammar of Malayalam to speak Malayalam? Well, if I ask you what is the tense rule, how did you frame this sentence? Well, most of us are not able to say, even though coming to me, I am not able to say how I speak Telugu, because that is how I speak. There is a rule for it. Note it down today. The more you listen, the better you speak. The more you read, the better you write. You listen to the language a lot, you speak that language knowingly or unknowingly. You want to speak, you have to listen to it. So make your ears big, hold your chairs tight. When you sit for speaking trees class, you have to listen to a lot. And not just for speaking trees class, even after the class, make your ears big, listen to English a lot. And trust me, believe me, within no time, you all can speak good English without knowing any rules and without having any fear. That is what is communication all about. I am not asking you to speak grammatically, structurally correct English. I am asking you to communicate in English. Well, when you communicate, you do fall into committing some mistakes. That's fine, pretty much fine. But the only request is start communicating. Well, I would say in this regard, you no need to start because you have already started and you are doing it, you are taking it further. My only sincere request is to take it a little more effective so that your communication sounds better and it reaches millions of people. The only thing is, if you're talking to a person, the person should understand each and every word of yours. If he or she is able to understand all the words that come out of your mouth, then you are the best communicator in this world. There's no doubt about it. And you being a Malayali, I'm telling you, we Indians have got good accent, which is a neutral accent and accepted by the world. There are many dialects spoken. As sir said, English is spoken in many ways. I say it as dialect. Dialect is nothing but a language spoken in many ways. That comes from the base root of their language. Some languages are stressed, some are not stressed, some are flat. And when they speak English, there's a lot of influence of the mother tongue on the language English that is spoken. Coming to you, you have got amazing, what do you call it, Aksharamala. You have E. You have got all the sounds with you. You are the luckiest ones because yours is the toughest language, and yet if you speak your language, you can speak ultimate English. As sir said, if you are with the language of yours, that is mother tongue, Malayalam, if you speak proper Malayalam, you can speak proper English. There's no doubt about it. But the saddest part is I don't know Malayalam, so I cannot communicate with you in Malayalam. What we'll do is, our trainers, they don't know any of your languages. They speak only English. They communicate with you. My only request and our request is just coordinate with us. Do whatever the activity we say. Communicate with each other. Show the change among yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk to your parents. Talk to your friends. Just talk. Be happy. Be happy when you learn a language. Okay, don't feel stressed that you have to be in speaking trees class and you have to sit for 45 minutes or 50 minutes. Please just don't feel like that. Feel so happy. Participate in all the activities. Just listen to the trainers. We will have lots of fun and enjoy learning English. When you enjoy doing something, you will definitely have the better results. Trust me, it's going to happen. It happened when I was in MGM. I remember each and every part of the school. I roamed across. I was with all the students. And I'm back to MGM after 8 years. And I know that we can do it. Can we? Can we?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, we all can. Super. Super. We can do it and we can make our school proud. There's no doubt I'm working for MGM. Okay. For some time, I'll keep speaking to you also aside. It is MGM for me. I'm going to do it for you all. My trainers are ready, and I just want your support to make this program a grand success. And I also wish to tell you that at the end of this program, you're all going to take part in a grammar quest that is going to happen across India. You're all going to be a part of it, and you're going to get lots of prizes, goodies, certificates, and medals, and all that stuff. We are ready for it. I hope you're also ready. Are you?
Yes, sir.
Ready.
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, sir.
So let's rock.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
rock. And I wish to, I know I am missing the school so bad. I just want to come there and see you all personally. Well, when the time permits, I'm going to fly down to Kerala. I'm going to fly down to MGM. I'm going to meet you all in our auditorium. That big auditorium. So we'll have lots of activities. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let's
Okay,
inaugurate.
sir.
Thank you so much. And I thank Srinivasan sir for being a part of this program, because we are so blessed to have our launch from your side, sir. And I thank MGM management also for giving us this opportunity to be launched by such great personalities like Srinivasan sir. And I'm so happy to be associated with MGM. And I'm sure I'm going to take this little further, not little, for a longer time. And I'm always for MGM. Thank you so much, ma'am, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite Dr. P.K. Sukumaran, sir, with much respect, who always gave us endless care, guidance, and support, which prove that he is a great leader. We are really blessed to have a great leader like you. With a thankful heart, I welcome you, sir, to address this session. Over to you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My dear children, I am very glad to hear the English tree, speaking tree, English speaking tree. ഇത് പൂർവാധികം ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് അത് ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് സായി കൃഷ്ണന്റെ ആത്മാർത്ഥമായ പ്രവർത്തനം ഇതിന്റെ പിന്നിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. അതുപോലെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളും അധ്യാപകരും അത് പരമാവധി വിജയിപ്പിക്കും എന്നൊരു വിശ്വാസം കൊണ്ട്, വിശ്വാസം ഉള്ളിൽ സ്വാംശീകരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് സകലവിധ ആശംസകൾ നേരുന്നു. നമസ്കാരം. അടുത്ത്
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. To felicitate the gathering, let me invite our PTA President, most beloved Haridev sir, who is a familiar face and an
നമസ്കാരം.
ഹലോ, കേക്കാവോ?
Yes, sir. We can hear.
ആ, ഞാൻ സ്ഥലത്ത് നമ്മളെ ജോലി സംബന്ധമായിട്ട് ഒരു സൈറ്റിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ് വിശദപരമായിട്ട് ഇത് ക്ലിയർ ആവാതെ വന്നത്. എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരമുണ്ട്. നമ്മളെ സ്കൂളിൽ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പ്രാവർത്തികമാക്കുന്നതിൽ 2ാം ഘട്ടമാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. ആദ്യം ഒരു തവണ നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം നമ്മൾ നടപ്പിൽ വരുത്തിയതാണ്. ഹലോ, ക്ലിയർ ഉണ്ടോ സാറേ? ഹലോ,
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
ആ, അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മള് ഇപ്പൊ പുതിയൊരു ഏജൻസിയെ നമ്മള് സ്കൂളിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് സ്പോക്കൺ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്, കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റീവ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ക്ലാസ് ആരംഭിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നതിൽ സ്കൂളിന്റെ രക്ഷകർത്താക്കളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ അവരോട് ഭാഷ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ ഭാഷ നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളിൽ, അൺഎയ്ഡഡ് മേഖലയിലെ കുട്ടികളിൽ അയക്കുന്നത് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഭാഷ നല്ല ഫ്ലുവൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സംസാരിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന രക്ഷകർത്താക്കളാണ് ഒട്ടുമിക്കവരും. അപ്പം അത് നമുക്ക് സാധിച്ചു തരാൻ സ്കൂളിന്റെ മാനേജ്മെന്റിന്റെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്നുണ്ടായ ഇതിൽ ആദ്യം തന്നെ സ്വാഗതം ആശംസിച്ചോളട്ടെ. അതുപോലെ തന്നെയാണ് നമുക്ക് പല സ്കൂളുകളിലും ഇതുപോലെ പല ഏജൻസികൾ വന്നിട്ട് അവര് ഈ ഏജൻസികൾ പറയുന്ന പ്രകാരമുള്ള അവരുടെ ടേംസ് ആൻഡ് കണ്ടീഷൻ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ കുട്ടിയൊക്കെ അത് എത്രത്തോളം പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് ആദ്യമേ നമ്മൾ അവരെ ബോധ്യപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് വേണം ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ. കാരണം ആദ്യമേ അവർ പല രീതിയിലും പല ക്ലാസ്സുകളും പല രീതിയിലും പറയും. പക്ഷെ നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യം നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾ നല്ല ഫ്ലുവൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഫൊണറ്റിക്സ് ഉൾപ്പെടെ, കാരണം ഒട്ടനവധി കുട്ടികൾ നമ്മുടെ അൺഎയ്ഡഡ് മേഖലയിലെ കുട്ടികൾ പുറത്തു പോയാണ് വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പുറം രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ പോകാനുള്ളതാ. ആ ഉദ്ദേശ ലക്ഷ്യത്തോടു കൂടിയാണ് നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളെ. ഹലോ, കേൾക്കാവോ? ഹലോ.
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Yes, sir. We can hear.
ആ, ഞാൻ സൈറ്റിൽ ഒരു ഒഴിഞ്ഞ സ്ഥലത്ത് സൈറ്റിലായി പോയതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. സോറി പാടം പ്ലീസ്. കാരണം ഞാൻ ഇതിനകത്ത് പങ്കെടുക്കണമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് ആഗ്രഹമുള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ പങ്കെടുത്തതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മളെ പരമാവധി നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ രക്ഷകർത്താക്കൾക്ക് അത് സംതൃപ്തി വരത്തക്ക രീതിയിൽ ആയിരിക്കണം അതിൻ്റെ ടേംസ് ആൻഡ് കണ്ടീഷനിൽ ആ ഏജൻസിയോട് അതിൻ്റെ മുൻധാരണ പ്രകാരം നമ്മളത് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മളെ കുട്ടിയൊക്കെ എത്രത്തോളം പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുന്നതിലാണ് നമുക്ക് പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ളത്. അതിനായിരിക്കണം നമ്മൾ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്. കാരണം പല ഏജൻസികൾ ഈ അടുത്ത കാലങ്ങളിൽ പല സ്കൂളുകളിലും, നമുക്കറിയാവുന്ന സ്കൂളുകളിലെല്ലാം അവർ ഇതൊരു പാഷനായിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ക്ലാസ്സുകളിൽ, നമ്മളെ സ്കൂളിലെ ക്ലാസ്സിലെ അധ്യാപകരാരും മോശക്കാരായിട്ടല്ല, നമ്മളെ അധ്യാപകർക്ക് ഈ ഫൊണറ്റിക്സ് ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള ഭാഷ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യാൻ, കുട്ടികളെ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിക്കാൻ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് വൈസ് അവർക്ക് ഒത്തിരി ജോലിയുള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മളൊരു പ്രത്യേക ഏജൻസി ഏൽപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അത് നമുക്ക് എത്രത്തോളം പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുന്നു എന്ന് നമ്മളെ പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുത്തക്ക രീതിയിലായിരിക്കണം അവരുമായിട്ടുള്ള എഗ്രിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരൊറ്റ അഭിപ്രായം മാത്രമേ എനിക്കുള്ളൂ. വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഞാനൊരു എൻ്റെ ജോലി സംബന്ധമായിട്ട് സൈറ്റിലായിപ്പോയി, അതുകൊണ്ട് കൂടുതൽ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാ മീറ്റിങ്ങിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവരെ എൻ്റെ ആശംസ അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. To deliver the vote of thanks to all the dignitaries and guests, let me invite Anusha.
Language is the blood of the soul, into which thoughts run and out of which they grow. A very pleasant afternoon to one and all. In this globalization era, there have been drastic changes taking place all over the world. These tremendous changes occur when people have a strong desire to achieve something. People's desires are fulfilled when they clearly express their ideas and opinions with others. Thus, they need to learn communication skills in order to fulfill their ambitions, desires, and goals. In this modern world, communication skills play a very vital role, and one must have mastery over those skills. There is a need for learners to acquire the communication skills of it to get success in their respective field. Thus, the classroom is the ideal platform to acquire good communication skills. And we are fortunate enough as our school management
has decided to commence Speaking Tree spoken English course for students of classes 1 to 8, handled by well-trained faculties. It is indeed a good initiative taken by the management, considering the need to improve our language and communication skills. Now, let me come to my duty, that is, to propose the vote of thanks. First, let me thank Shri T.P. Srinivasan sir, former Indian diplomat, for spending a part of his valuable time for this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That children are evolving with time. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our junior principal, Dr. Pooja ma'am, who has always been a constant support and takes initiatives for the progress of students. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank Sajid Vijay Raghavan sir, School Management Committee member. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank our PTA President Heritage sir for always encouraging us to move forward. Thank you, sir. On behalf of all the MGM family, I would like to thank PTA, parents, management, teachers, non-teaching staff, and all my dearest friends for your constant support.
അതിനകത്ത് കുറച്ച് വെള്ളം ഒന്ന് കൂട്ടി.
Our speaking will help us develop our communication skills and convey my words. Let us hope for the best and work on it. Thank you.
I feel proud and extremely overwhelmed to be part of this esteemed institution where we are not only taught within the four walls but also beyond. All the credit goes to the backbone of MGM, our Honorable Secretary Dr. P.K. Sukumaran sir, our very beloved Principal Dr. Pooja S. ma'am, and our dearest teachers who made the learning more fun and interactive with their utmost love and affection. Every program has an end, and we also have reached to the end of the program. I would thank all the dignitaries and teachers and my dear friends for making this session a wonderful one. Once again, thank you to all. Now, I would like to call Krishnendu for the national anthem.
സാറിനൊന്ന് സംസാരിക്കണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. മീറ്റിംഗ് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം സാർ ഒന്ന് കുറച്ചു നേരം ഇരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ സാർ?
Sure.
ഓക്കെ.
മീറ്റിംഗ് കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലേ?
അനുഷ, after the national anthem, all the people can leave.
Krishnendu, national anthem.
Okay, ma'am. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय है, भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा, तब शुभ नामे जाहे, तब शुभ आशीष माघे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे, भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे.
Students, you may leave.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
എല്ലാവരും പോയോ? കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ പോയോ?
ബൈ സാർ.
കുറച്ച് പേരും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്.
10 പേരുടെ ഉണ്ട്.
ഞാൻ ലീവ് ചെയ്യട്ടെ?
സിന്ധു ടീച്ചർ ഒന്ന് നിൽക്കാമോ? ടീച്ചർ യു ആർ ദ ഹോസ്റ്റ്, നോ? Can you?
Yes.
Sai sir.
Ma'am, yeah, ma'am.
Yes, you can leave, sir. Sir wants to talk to TP, sir.
Please, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Asia.
Sindhu teacher, you can please.
Huh?
Sindhu teacher, please. You are the host, no? You can.
I'll remove.
Yes.
I'll remove. PTA president is there, teacher.
And can you inform Sanusha also to stop the meeting?
Okay.
This YouTube live.
Sanusha meeting stop ചെയ്യാൻ പറയാം. Shall I remove Sanusha also?
Sai sir, you can also leave.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a nice evening, ma'am. Have a nice evening, sir. Srinivasan, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, sir.
പറയൂ ഡോക്ടർ സുകുമാരൻ.
ഇത് വളരെ കാലമായി സാറിന് ഇങ്ങനെ കാണാൻ.
2 വർഷം നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു ശരിക്കും.
2 വർഷം നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. ഇനിയും നഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്ന ലക്ഷണങ്ങളാണ് കാണുന്നത്.
അതാണ്.
സ്കൂള് ജനുവരി ആദ്യത്തെ ആഴ്ച തൊട്ട് തുടങ്ങണമെന്നാണ് കരുതിയിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഇന്നലെ പറയുന്നത് അങ്ങനെ ആരംഭിക്കാൻ ചില സാങ്കേതിക തടസ്സങ്ങൾ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്.
അതെ, ഞങ്ങളും അക്കാഡമി 3-ാം തീയതി തുറക്കണം എന്നാണ് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാം അടയ്ക്കേണ്ടി വന്നു. കാരണം ഒരു ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റാഫിലുള്ള ഒരാളിന് പോസിറ്റീവായി. സോ വി ക്ലോസ് ഡൗൺ. ഹോസ്റ്റലെല്ലാം അടച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ ഓൺലൈനിൽ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ ക്ലാസ്. അത് പോരാ, ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ഇനഫ്. കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ശരിക്കും ക്ലാസ്സിൽ വന്നാലേ പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുള്ളൂ. ചെറിയ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ വിശേഷിച്ചും അല്ലേ.
അവരെല്ലാം ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ക്ലാസ് ആണ് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നത്.
അതെ.
ഈ ഇതൊന്നും മാറിയതിനു ശേഷം നമ്മുടെ SMC ഒന്ന് കൂടണമെന്ന് കരുതിയിരുന്നതാണ് സാർ. ജനുവരിയിലെങ്കിലും അതും ഓൺലൈനിൽ അത്ര ഒരു സാറ്റിസ്ഫാക്ഷൻ കിട്ടിയില്ല.
അതെ, എന്നാലും വി ക്യാൻ ഹാവ്. ഞാന് ഗോവയിൽ പോവാണ് എൻഡ് ഓഫ് ദി മന്ത്. ക്രിസ്മസ് ന്യൂ ഇയർ കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അവരൊക്കെ വരാൻ പറ്റുമോ, ഫ്ലൈറ്റ്സ് വരുമോ ഒന്നും പിടിയൊന്നുമില്ല. ബുക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട്
ക്രിസ്മസ് വെക്കേഷന്
24th
പോകണം.
ഞാനിതുവരെ വെളിയിൽ പോയിട്ടില്ല. ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്ത് പുറത്ത് പോയിട്ടേ ഇല്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു പ്ലെയിനിൽ കയറിയിട്ടില്ല 3 കൊല്ലമായിട്ട്.
നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഇന്നോവേഷൻ സെന്റർ എല്ലാം പൂർത്തിയായിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. അത് ഇനാഗുറേഷന് വേണ്ടി നമ്മുടെ കേന്ദ്ര IT മിനിസ്റ്റർക്ക് ഒരു റിക്വസ്റ്റ് നൽകിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്.
ചന്ദ്രശേഖരോ?
രാജീവ് ചന്ദ്രശേഖർ.
രാജീവ് ചന്ദ്രശേഖർ. പുള്ളി അഗ്രി ചെയ്തോ?
ഇല്ല, ഡേറ്റ് തരാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു.
ശരി, ഓക്കെ.
ഇതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ
അത് പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോഴാണെങ്കിൽ ഓൺലൈനല്ലേ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
അല്ല, ഓഫ്ലൈനിലാണ് ഞാൻ ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ട്. ഓഫ്ലൈനിലാണ് പ്രതികരിച്ചാണ് കൊടുത്തത്. ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ എന്താണ് വരാൻ പോകുന്നത് അറിഞ്ഞില്ല.
അദ്ദേഹം വരാറുണ്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.